Okay, what we're going to make today is a lovely Posh bread pudding. And I'll tell you, it's going to be beautiful because it's going to be covered in a rich, creamy, warm, whisky sauce. Yes, you've heard it, whisky. Fabulous. Why is it posh? I'm glad you've asked. Because we're going to be using these brioche rolls. Now, earlier this week, I made some brioche rolls and they came out larger than I was expecting. So I didn't quite get through them all. But luckily, with these two left over, they've gone a little bit stale now. So I'm going to break them up and we're going to use these in the bread pudding. All you have to do is make them into big chunks like this. I mean, I'm talking really big, quite chunks actually, because I think that makes the bread pudding much better. You can use any bread you like actually, any bread, as long as it's gone a little bit stale. And if you use a crusty loaf, the crust makes the bread pudding much crispier. And that really does give you a nice crunch when you're biting into it. So there's our bread, broken into big chunks. I'm going to pour 450 millilitres of milk over the top. And we're just going to let this soak a little bit so the bread absorbs all the milk. And this is where we have to get a little bit dirty. And so I'm going to push down that bread right into the milk. Push it right the way down. It's soaking up the milk as we talk. Normally I'd leave this for about 5 minutes or so just to soak in a little bit more, but it seems to be going quite well today actually. There you go, I'm completely covered in milk and that's soaked up nicely. I'm just going to push that down a little bit more. There we go, leave that to stand. Wipe my hand, otherwise I will be getting in trouble. There we go. Now in another bowl, take some granulated, well not granulated, but caster, golden caster sugar I'm using today. I'm going to mix that with 2 eggs. A mess I'm making already. And mix it. There we go, nice and creamy. Now to this mixture, we're going to add some softened butter, ground nutmeg and cinnamon. Scoop all that in. Oh, it smells lovely already. And also a tablespoon of vanilla extract. I can't get the lid off. There we go. Once again, mix all these together. It's a lovely, thick, creamy, almost like a batter to a certain extent, and the smell that's coming out of it is fabulous. Into this mixture we're going to add our raisins. Now here I've got some giant raisins because I like the texture of them, but you can use any raisins you like, small ones if you want, don't want to leave anything behind. Mix all those together again. This is going to be added, or rather our bread is going to be added to this, so it soaks up more of the moisture. As you can see, it's practically dried already, taking all that milk in. Oh, dollop, oh my word. Looks a mess, doesn't it? Really does look a mess. But the magic will be in the eating a little bit later on. Just push all that down. Brioche rolls, they tend to break up a lot, which is why you need to make them into big chunks to begin with. And when this bakes in the oven, the top will be lovely and crispy. Completely mix it all in. This will then go into a nicely buttered baking dish. This one here. Just tip it all in. There we go. I want it to be nice and crispy on top, so I'm trying to just leave some of the bread on top there. That's lovely. We're going to bake this in the oven, and all the instructions are below the video, and shortly we'll be starting the rich whiskey sauce. Lovely and crisp, and look at that, beautiful. Quick way of testing if it's done or not is to take a knife and stick it in the middle, and if the knife comes out nice and clean like that does, then the bread pudding is ready to go. We'll just move this out the way for a second. We're going to make our whiskey sauce. And last but not least, the secret ingredient is our whiskey, which we just pour in. Now this is what we've been waiting for. A posh bread pudding with warm whiskey sauce. Fabulous. Nice and crunchy on top as well. Give it a go, see what you think, and let me know in the comments below. Also, subscribe to the channel and you'll be notified every time new recipes come through. But enjoy your bread pudding. It's fabulous. I love it. Have some more of that.